Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Kingdom Growth. I'm Mitchell Beecher, founder of Bee Kingdom Builders, and today we are exploring one of the most iconic and powerful stories in the Bible. We're going to talk about the flood, the ark, God's covenant with Noah. But before we dive in, let's do a quick recap of Genesis 4, 5, and 6, of where we're coming from. The last episode, we saw the devastating spread of sin through humanity after Adam and Eve's fall. Cain's rebellion marked the beginning of a massive downward spiral that filled the world with violence and corruption. God, in his sorrow over what humanity had essentially become, decided to bring judgment through a flood. But he also chose one man, Noah, who was full of faith and obedience, as the one through whom he would preserve life. In today's chapter, Genesis 7, 8, and 9, we are going to build on that foundation. They reveal not just God's judgment, but his incredible mercy and faithfulness. Let me ask you this. What do you think the flood story has to do with Jesus? Stick around, because by the end of today's episode, you will see the amazing connection. Let's get started. Genesis 7 opens with God's direct command to Noah to enter the ark with his family and the animals. Imagine the scene. You just have to. Noah, who has spent decades building this massive structure on dry land, is now gathering the animals, two of each kind, male and female. People around him must have thought that he was absolutely crazy. But because Noah was faithful and obedient, he obeyed God because he trusted God completely. This chapter emphasizes God's sovereignty. The floodwaters rise not randomly, but as a result of a divine judgment. Genesis 7:23 sums it up. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that move along the ground and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. So what is the lesson here? Sin has consequences. Just as the flood wiped out corruption in Noah's time, we are reminded today that God is just and cannot overlook sin. The same God yesterday is the same God today. But here's the hope. God always provides a way out. We will see this repeated over and over and over again as we continue this journey. The ark is just a foreshadowing of Jesus Christ. Just as Noah and his family were saved by entering the ark, we are saved when we place our faith in Jesus Christ. So let's pause for a moment, a lot of information, and let us reflect. Are there areas in your life where you've been resisting God's call to obedience? Noah trusted God even when it seemed illogical. How might God be calling you to trust him today? All right, Genesis chapter 8. Moving on, the narrative shifts from judgment to renewal. After 150 days, the flood waters begin to recede. Imagine Noah and his family. They're waiting, they're watching, they're waiting, they're watching. They're wondering, when will they step onto dry land again? So Noah sends out a raven, and then later a dove, as he seeks confirmation that the earth is habitable. And one of the most profound verses here in Genesis 1:8, but God remembered Noah. Those 5 words are packed with meaning. They don't simply, imply that God had forgotten Noah, but rather that he was about to act on some sort of promise, on his promises. And this is a reminder for all of us. God's timing is perfect. When we feel stuck, when we feel forgotten, he is always working behind the scenes for our good. When Noah finally stepped off the ark, his first act was to build an altar, and he worshiped God. This teaches us an important principle. Gratitude must follow deliverance. How often do we rush past the moments of victory without stopping to thank God? Noah's worship sets an example for us to pause, acknowledge God's faithfulness, and to give him all the glory. And finally, Genesis 9, we see God establishing a new covenant with Noah and all creation. He blesses Noah his family commands them to be fruitful and multiply and institute safeguards for human life. The highlight of this chapter is the rainbow. Genesis 9:13 says, I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of a covenant between me and the earth. The rainbow is more than just a natural phenomenon. It's a divine promise. God declares that he will never again destroy the earth with a flood. But this covenant also points us forward to the ultimate promise fulfilled in Jesus Christ. Just as the rainbow signifies peace between God and humanity, Jesus bridges the gap, bringing reconciliation through his sacrifice on the cross. Think about this. Every time you see a rainbow, you're witnessing a visual reminder of God's mercy and faithfulness. How does that change the way you view his promises in your life? So, what can we take away from Genesis 7 through 9? First, the flood story reminds us that while God's judgment is real, his mercies always prevails. Second, God remembers his promises, even when we feel forgotten or lost. And third, the rainbow points us to Jesus, our ultimate hope and the one who ensures eternal peace with God. And here's your challenge today. Spend time reflecting on a promise of God that you need to trust in right now. I want you to write it down, pray on it, and keep it where you can see it throughout the day. If you're facing a storm in your life, let it be a reminder that God is with you and will bring you through. If you feel encouraged, I'd love for you to comment it below as well, and let us join you in prayer as you are facing this storm. If this message encouraged you, please like the video and share it with a friend who needs hope today. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more daily Bible studies, more encouragement as we continue to build out God's kingdom together. And visit Be Kingdom Builders for our free Bible study guides and resources to help you grow in your faith. I will see you in the next episode.